What is going on, you guys? It's Anna. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to talk about Alex Pereira and Khabib Nurmagomedov because a lot of talk on social media has been saying that Alex Pereira has now surpassed Khabib on the all-time list. I'm going to pump the brakes, but let's not act like that is a close argument. I think Alex Pereira, in his short career in the UFC, is very close to Khabib Nurmagomedov because obviously, unfortunately, Khabib retired very early. You know, literally in the peak of his prime, he retired when he defeated Justin Gaethje. He became 29-0, and we were supposed to probably get a multitude of other fights with Khabib. But that doesn't escape the fact, that doesn't erase the fact that Alex Pereira is very close to Khabib Nurmagomedov. I think, in my opinion, that Alex Pereira is arguably a top 15 fighter of all time, MMA fighter of all time, for sure. I think with his victory against Jamal Hill, he has climbed the ranks a big time, and with a few more wins, I can definitely see him creep up into the top 5 all time. I understand it's very early. It is very early into his career, but he's already making huge waves and making a name for himself in the all-time list. I mean, he has already created a resume in such a short amount of time that nobody else really has been able to do. I have seen nobody else have this much success this early into the career than Alex Pereira. It is absolutely unbelievable. Let's talk about, the resumes. So we're going to talk about Khabib first, because Khabib has a good resume. Let's not act like he doesn't. Yes, does he have, fights against other guys, especially outside of the UFC, who are absolutely horrible and did not have good records and literally only fought one fight prior? Yes. But in the UFC, he did fight high levels of competition. In April 19, 2014, he fought Rafael dos Anjos. Rafael dos Anjos went up to go and win the lightweight championship. Let's not act like that win is not impressive, because it is. And he dominated Rafael dos Anjos, in my honest opinion, won every single round, was able to take him down, was able to pretty much dominate him throughout the entirety of that fight. That was a very impressive victory, and that was in 2014. The next guy that I will say that was a really good fighter is Michael Johnson. He completely destroyed Michael Johnson, submitted him with a Kimura, and pretty much, I remember that fight. I watched that fight a few years back. Was talking to him in the cage, saying that he needs to fight for the title, pretty much telling Michael Johnson to give up. Absolutely amazing performance, completely destroyed Michael Johnson in that fight. Then the next fight that he had was against Edson Barbosa and completely dominated Edson Barbosa as well. Like, these are dominant victories. The only fight that I will say that wasn't dominant in the career of Khabib, in his UFC career, was Gleison Tibau. Gleison Tibau was the only one, to me, that did pretty damn well against Khabib Nurmagomedov, and you could arguably say that he beat Khabib. But all the judges gave it 30-27 to Khabib, which is actually kind of ridiculous. But anyway, that's besides the point. But still, absolutely impressive that Khabib, still, like I said, undefeated, 29-0 is still a very impressive feat because, not too many people, nobody on the all-time list can say that they're undefeated. Even John Jones, I understand that John Jones pretty much should be undefeated, but you could say that he arguably lost to Dominic Reyes, so that's probably a loss right there, so that doesn't really matter. So it's, to me, 29-0, extremely impressive. Quinta, it was not Khabib's fault that he fought Quinta. He was supposed to fight Tony Ferguson. Then Tony Ferguson pulled out. Then he was supposed to fight Max Holloway. And imagine a win over Max Holloway now. That makes Khabib look a lot better than where he is right now if he was able to fight Max Holloway, which I believe he would have probably dominated Max Holloway in that fight. And then, Max Holloway pulled out, and then it was Quinta, who he fought, who was the number 13th, I believe, lightweight at the time. And that was not his fault. Everybody made it seem like that was Khabib's fault. It was not Khabib's fault for fighting Al Quinta, and he did what he needed to do. He dominated Al Quinta pretty much 30, 24'd him or 23'd him, whatever, and completely dominated every single round. Made it look like a cakewalk. Super, super easy fight for Khabib. Then the next fight was Conor McGregor. And Conor McGregor, he dominated Conor McGregor. Destroyed Conor McGregor. Damn near dropped him, rocked him so bad with an overhand right that sent Conor flying. But ground and pounded him, only had him win one round. And then in the next round, submitted him. And I mean, bro, it was literally just complete domination, a ground and pound, and a multitude of rounds. It was a completely just one-sided fight throughout the entirety of that fight, except for the third round. In the third round, it looked like he just took the round off, in my honest opinion. You know what I mean? And, you know, Conor has some moments, but Conor couldn't really do much anyway. And beating somebody at the level of Conor McGregor in the biggest fight in UFC history, and to do that on the biggest stage, on the biggest pay-per-view of all time, absolutely, you deserve a whole lot of credit for that. So I got to give Khabib a lot of credit because he did not fold under the pressure, and he lived up to the moment and defeated the biggest name in the sport and dominated him. Then you go to Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier, that's a great win, where, you know, he definitely was struggling in some moments of the fight. You know, he had the guillotine, but he was able to survive the guillotine, and he was able to submit Dustin Poirier early on, I believe in the third round, and submitted by rear naked choke. And made a great performance again. His first title defense, actually his second title defense, because Conor McGregor, when Al Quinta, that was for the championship. Then he faced Conor McGregor. That's first title defense. Second title defense was against Dustin Poirier, and then the third one against Justin Gaethje. Completely dominated him in that second round. Was able to get a submission early on, and that was the end of Khabib's career. 29-0, absolutely unbelievable. Let's look at Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira already has a top-tier resume in the UFC. He beat Andreas Michailidis. That was in his first fight with the flying knee. I remember in literally the beginning of the round, he was able to get that flying knee off right away. Then the Bruno Silva fight, where he pretty much pieced up Bruno Silva. Then you have the Alex Pereira, Sean Strickland fight, where he knocked out Sean Strickland, and then Sean Strickland goes on a streak and then becomes the middleweight champion. So that fight aged beautifully for Alex Pereira, because Sean Strickland, the person who he beat, went on to become the middleweight champion of the world and beat Israel Adesanya. So that says a lot about Alex Pereira. Then he went and faced in his fourth fight in his UFC career, fights Israel Adesanya and TKO's Adesanya on the cage and beats him, and is up 3-0 in the series against Adesanya, and at that point in time, and he knocked him out. Then the next fight, this is where it hurts Alex Pereira, is where he gets knocked out by Israel Adesanya. He gets knocked out cold against him. That was not great whatsoever. But then bounced back in the same year that he got knocked out, faces Jan Blachowicz, wins a very close decision victory, split decision victory against Jan Blachowicz, where I do believe, in my opinion, he did win that fight. Then he goes on to face Yuri Prochazka, who is probably the most dangerous fighter outside of Alex Pereira, was the most dangerous fighter, and knocks him out. And listen, like I said, I don't agree with the decision. I don't agree with how the fight got stopped, but he still knocked him out. He knocked out Yuri Prochazka, got the victory over him, and then knocks out Jamal Hill at UFC 300 for his first title. And by the way, became a division champion in 185 and 205. A champion in two divisions, and has a title defense in the light heavyweight division. He is on the path. What does he have to do now? I think, in my opinion, Alex Pereira needs a few more title defenses. I think if he beats Ankalaev and he gets another title defense after that, possibly goes up to, if he goes up to heavyweight and becomes a champion, I don't want to hear a conversation. I do not want to hear, if he beats like a Tom Aspinall or whoever, and knocks him out or wins, there's no conversation. He is in the top 5, 100%. I will put him in the top 5 if he beats him. And that's if that's his next fight. If his next fight he faces Tom Aspinall and beats Tom Aspinall or whoever the champion is, he's in the top 5 and he's higher than Khabib Nurmagomedov. But listen, let's just say, for example, he just stays at 205 and just continues to defend his belt at 205. He beats Ankalaev. That is a big-time, great victory. And by the way, like look at the level of competition that he's facing, by the way. Jamal Hill's a great fighter, was the champion. Yuri Prochazka was the champion. Jan Blachowicz was a champion. Israel Adesanya was a champion. Sean Strickland was a champion. Like, he has faced and beat multiple champions already in the UFC. Unbelievable stuff from Alex Pereira. And if he's able to beat Ankalaev, which is probably to me his toughest competition yet in the 205-pound division, probably aside Yuri Prochazka, that is super impressive. And if he's able to get a few more title defenses in that division, you know, we'll see what happens with him at heavyweight. Dana White has said that he doesn't want to see Pereira fight at heavyweight, which is absolutely ridiculous. I want to see Pereira fight at heavyweight. I think he will do well against a lot of guys at heavyweight. I really do, because he's going to be a lot more skilled than every single one of them, except probably maybe Tom Aspinall, maybe John Jones. But even then, in the striking, he's a lot better than John Jones, especially right now. I think, in my opinion, for him to surpass, like, if he just stays at light heavyweight, I think if he gets 2 to 3 more title defenses, you can't deny him any longer. He is a top 5 fighter of all time, and he is higher than Khabib on the all-time list. I don't think he's there right now. I think Khabib, his resume is just like, they're really neck and neck in my honest opinion. I just think that the pure dominance of Khabib puts him a little bit over the edge over Pereira, because Pereira doesn't have like the dominance of Khabib Nurmagomedov. But if he's able to get the job done against Ankalaev and then other guys in that light heavyweight division, maybe he rematches Yuri Prochazka and beats Yuri Prochazka or whoever, you can't deny Alex Pereira any longer. I think he will be, because he's already a 2-division champion, and he's already, like, it's unbelievable how much he has done already in his young UFC career. And I mean, I don't know how old he is exactly. Let's see how old he is real quick. 1987. How old does that make him? I'm trying to do math in my head. He's pretty fucking old. Wait, does that make him like 36? How old is he? It's just his date of birth, July 7, 1987. He's old. So I think that Pereira has 2 more great, actually, let me rephrase that. Great years left in him. I think his striking is still some of the elite in UFC, and also he's the best striker in that light heavyweight division. It's going to be tough to take that belt off him. I think Ankalaev will have to out-grapple him to win that fight if he fights him next. But I think he definitely he's in the conversation now with all the all-time greats. I think he's already like top 15 all-time. And it's time to have those conversations. What will get him to the top 10, and then what will get him above Khabib? Because a lot of people are already considering him to be better than Khabib. I wouldn't say that just yet, but he's almost there. He is almost there. I think eventually he will get there. Maybe. We'll see. But let me know in the comment section below what you think. Do you think that Yuri Prochazka, not Yuri Prochazka, but Alex Pereira is higher than Khabib on the all-time list, or you don't think that he's there yet? What would he have to do in your opinion? Let me know in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you are new. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. Peace out.